What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing well. So this video is probably going to be a little bit scattered, but I will try to get through it the best that I can. And scattered for a couple of different reasons. First of all, your boy John went out last night and had a great time in San Diego. Went to one of the San Diego Fashion Week events and had a super good time. Stayed out kind of late, had a little bit of wine. I was not driving, it was fine. Anyway, got home kind of late. So I'm feeling a little slow and maybe a little bit foggy this morning, but anyway, we'll get through it. I'll be just fine. And secondly, I don't have my thoughts completely together. I wanted to make this video, so I threw the camera in the car. I'm just taking a little drive, Sunday drive through wine country, and we'll just sort of chat about what it is that I want to chat about. So you guys know that I recently bought the Miata, the little convertible, which is super, super cool. Love that thing. It's funny that I miss driving a manual transmission. I miss that. Anyway, so I'm glad to be rowing gears again, but I don't like rowing gears in traffic. That's no fun. So that leaves me with this car, my SUV, my Audi Q3 that I've had for the last 2 years. I'm leasing it, and I have 1 year left on my lease. I've been hearing about, obviously, the shortage of vehicles and the delay in computer chips and all of that stuff. And I'm hearing about people turning in their lease vehicles early, not having to pay the penalty, and potentially, depending on the type of vehicle, people are like kind of making money, right? You're kind of walking away because now the vehicle is worth more than it was when you initially signed the deal, right? Anyway, so I called the dealership. I was kind of thinking, like, do I really need 2 cars? No. So what would it look like? Or is there any incentive for me to turn this thing in early? So I called the Audi dealership and give them the VIN and the miles and all that stuff. And they kind of gave me a loose ballpark, but they wanted me to see, or they wanted me to bring it in so they could see it and evaluate it. It needs tires. The windshield had a crack on it that was too big to fill. So I'll get into that in just a minute. It started to make sense to turn this thing in and basically sell it back to the dealership early and basically pocket all of the money that I would be spending on the car payment plus insurance. And the more I started thinking about it, the more that started to really make sense. Because I've talked about credit card debt. I mean, I've got 2 cards that I've been really working on paying down. So this car payment is $750 a month plus insurance. I think I'm like $150-ish a month insurance on this guy. So like $900 a month I could put in my pocket and just basically slam it towards all of my credit cards. Like, how amazing would that be? And it, like I said, it really started to make sense. So I go into the dealership, bring it in, and it needs tires, so they're gonna have to put tires on it. But the biggest issue was the crack in the windshield. It was too big to fill. They can't sell the vehicle with that kind of a crack. So regardless, the windshield needed to be replaced. Either I give them, and it's super expensive, and I'll get into that in a second. Either I give them $2,500 for them just to take it, or I work the windshield through my insurance company. Call the insurance company. My deductible is $100. And like I said, it's a $2,500 windshield. And the reason the windshield's so expensive is because it's got the radar thing up here and the traffic camera situation. So long story short, I get the windshield replaced. So all this was on Wednesday. I'm filming this video on Sunday. You guys will probably see this video on Tuesday. So Friday, the windshield comes in. I bring the car in and get the windshield done. By the time it was done, it was just it was too late in the afternoon. They were kind of closing. Like, would you mind coming back on Monday to do the paperwork? I'm like, cool. So I basically have the car for the weekend. And so I'm out kind of right now just enjoying the last little drive through wine country that I'm probably going to do in this thing, because tomorrow morning I go in and sell this car back to the dealership and it's going to be a complete wash. I'm not going to make any money. And here's kind of what I was thinking going into this whole thing. Best case scenario is the dealership, the car is worth more now, and the dealership writes me a check, and I walk away with a check. Amazing. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is it's sort of an even wash, right? Because I didn't want to pay anything for them to take it. That doesn't make any sense. But as it turns out, it's just going to be an even wash. Like, how amazing is that? Like I said, the more that I'm thinking about this, the more that it really starts to make a lot of sense. Like, you know, practice what I preach. Live below my means. I don't need 2 cars. I love this car. I love having an SUV. And I think at some point I will own another SUV. But for right now, I am sort of focusing on the feeling of what it's going to feel like to be debt-free. I mean, I still might have my Miata payment or whatever, but I'm really focusing on the credit card debt that I have. And it's not anything crazy, but it's enough to where it sucks. Like every single month, it sucks. And I'm looking forward to what it's going to feel like when all that is zero. And that's the goal. So I'm just going to hang out and live below my means, drive the little convertible, at least for the next 6, 8, 10 months or so. Get that stuff all back down to zero. And I've talked about some of my debt and some credit card stuff in other videos, and talked about how I'm working a program to, you know, consolidate and get all that debt paid down, which I'm doing. But when I made the Miata video, some of you were like, dude, you're trying to pay down your debt. Like, it doesn't really make sense for you to buy another car. And I totally get it. Totally get it. I will say, though, I am going to miss this car. There's certain things about this car that I am going to miss a lot. Specifically, the tech. I've got a screen right here. I've got a screen right here. This one's like an iPad. I can totally squeeze in. I can squeeze in and look at people's swimming pools in the neighborhood that I'm driving by. It's so cool. And it uses Google Earth. So what I'm looking at basically is Google Earth in my car. That's amazing. I am going to miss this car, but you know what? You do what you got to do. You know, it's not always about the fashion content, and because I like to give you guys different stuff. Every once in a while, sprinkle in something a little bit different, something with my personal life. Because honestly, I mean, how much can I talk about shoes and jeans and sweaters and stuff like that? You would get sick of it. Anyway, so this is just my little attempt to just sort of sprinkle in some new content, something different, just to sort of keep you guys interested. I hope you appreciate that. If you do, leave me a comment and let me know if you enjoy this type of video where I'm just out cruising, just sort of free-flowing, talking to the camera. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you dig it. Hit the like button because I really would appreciate it. The like button helps YouTube know that people like my videos in this channel. So then they show it to more people and this channel can grow and we can help more dudes live better lives and be more confident. Anyway, I'm running out of gas here. So thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it so very much. Live well, and we'll see you in the next one.